Hello, everyone. My name is Lexi, and I am our BookTube host. You are on Lexi's Book Nook. This is my BookTube or my YouTube on books. If you know me from my podcast, I have one on Spotify called Lexi's Book Nook. It is about books and book club recommendations, some of the common ones, and Reese Witherspoon's book club recommendations, and I read and then review them for you. So I have 2 episodes every month. The first one is on all the books that I'll be reading for the month, and the second one at the end of the month is my review on all the books that I've read, whether I've read them all or I wasn't able to. And I also have a website called lexiesbooknook.com. You can check that out. It's Lexies booknook.com. I also have an Instagram page, Lexi's Book Nook, and we will be going into some bonus episodes today, just one actually. And this is going to be different from my podcast episodes because you're getting bonus books that I was able to read for the month of March. So I will read 2 books, one from each different book club, a Reese Witherspoon book, and then some of my TBR books on my podcast. If I manage to get through them, then I go through additional TBR books, and those are my bonus episodes. So today is one of them, and we are going to be going over Madly Deeply, the Diaries of Alan Rickman, written and not narrated by him, but by a wonderful Englishman. I love the accent. So we'll be going over this. In my podcast episodes, I typically go through a summary, my thoughts and discussion questions. I do not have discussion questions for this one, so it is going to be a shorter episode. I just really want to broadcast this memoir because I love Alan Rickman so much because I'm a Potterhead and he's one of my favorite characters. But I'm going to dive into the summary and then obviously you're getting some of my thoughts right now, but I'll go into my thoughts a little bit more. So in Madly Deeply, it is about Alan Rickman, most famously known as Professor Snape from the Harry Potter series. He wrote these diary excerpts from 1993 to his death in 2016. We don't know why they started in 1993, but it led up to his death. These excerpts provide insight into Alan's public and private life. He had the intention of having these excerpts published eventually at some point after his death. His diaries bring back nostalgia to some of his biggest roles, such as Truly, Madly, Deeply, Sense and Sensibility, Galaxy Quest, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Love Actually, and every movie in the Harry Potter series. And love Demon Barber of Fleet Street because his duet with Johnny Depp is just so perfect with the lows from Alan Rickman and the highs from Johnny Depp, two of my favorite actors together. Love it. But obviously, I really enjoyed this book. I loved reading his diaries. It felt private, but I got to know so much more about this talented actor. For example, did you know he started out in plays? He was a very well-known and very successful actor, but never got an Academy Award winner. He's a red wine drinker. He was friends with his wife for years before they got married in 2012. He hated the award shows, has a lot of respect, and has received a lot of respect from many of his acting co-stars. He had many friends. He was a prostate cancer survivor, and there is so much more that you need to find out from this book. I listened to it, but I think it would be interesting to read it. It would probably be a quick read, probably quicker than an audiobook, but I really enjoyed listening to it. I love that Alan is such a gentle and kind soul. It made me sad all over again that he passed too soon from pancreatic cancer, and he was only 69 years old. Yes, that is considered old, but young for the geriatric age. So I love him. I love him in Harry Potter. And if you don't know Harry Potter or haven't read it or watched any of the movies, I highly recommend that you do, just for Alan Rickman, because he has a lot of, maybe not a lot of character development per se, because it's always been there, but there is more to the man than meets the eye, and you find out more throughout the series. And I just highly recommend anyone to either watch his movies, read the book, and or a combination of any of those. I highly recommend it because Alan Rickman is so much different from the actor that he is in his roles. So I want you to go ahead, either buy the book. You can find that on lexiesbooknook.com. Again, that is spelled Leies booknook.com. You can buy your own copy on my website. I do make a small commission based on what you buy, but you don't have to pay anything extra for that. But that's an easy way to access the book. You can find out more about my podcast on Spotify for free. If you want to support my podcast, it is $3 per month on Patreon, where you can see my face like you are right now on BookTube. However, you won't get the bonus episodes, so stay tuned on YouTube. But on Patreon, you'll also be able to see the book titles, like the books that I have right next to me. These are going to be the April books. You get to see that on Patreon. You can see my book nook and get inspiration for your own. So it's only $3 a month to support the podcast, or you can access it free on Spotify. And that is it. We are done. But I hope you get madly deeply on my website, and I hope you keep on reading.